to Demo here. Detox 101 again. Is Damien a fan of the halftime interview at Selectors? Must be 20 years it was. It's more than 20 years. It's 1995. Some golden moments. Are you going to do it, or we're going to do it? What do you make of it, Damien? I know TG Carter have brought it back kind of now. I quite like it because I think it's more than something on the field after. And I know Bubbles of the Wire was given out about a mic being shoved under his face about a minute after the 16 All-Ireland, but that kind of raw stuff in the heat of the moment is like, that's manna from heaven for us and for viewers at home, realistically.
Come here, Mick, it's fantastic. If the right person is sent over to you to answer your question, you can get a great insight. Now, mostly they won't send over the right person to you. You know, I mean, I remember after Dublin winning an All-Ireland final, you know, I had to go through their media manager. After winning an All-Ireland final, I don't know why, but that's the level of what you're dealing with, Mick. But I was asked who I'd like, and I said, look, in an ideal world, would you bring over Philly McMahon, James McCarthy, and Kevin McManaman? And I think they brought over Johnny Cooper, Kieran Kilkenny, and I think maybe Keane O'Sullivan, the steadiest hands you'll ever get in your life. The point I'm making is you're looking for a bit of a spark, and you're looking for a bit of an insight. And like working in my job on the sideline, like you're trying to do, and I said this over and over again, like, it's never about you for a start, Mick. You're only asking a simple question, but it's to try and get the trust of somebody that they'll trust you, maybe to give an insight, or maybe to say what was motivating them, or maybe something that happened during the week that maybe propelled them forward in their preparation. You're never looking to kind of leave somebody out to dry or anything like that. That's never the case at all. But genuinely, you have hundreds of thousands of viewers at home, and they're looking to get inside the game, and they're getting to look in behind the game. And the pre-match thing at this stage, it's tough going, Mick. You know, it really is. And you're just trying to be respectful to these managers all the time, because you know they're putting in about 60 hours a week, and you know they're putting in maybe 10 months preparation for this day. And but maybe it's getting to the managers. Like, you have to get through a lot of media people now to even get near them. And you know yourself, you're in the midst of it too, Mick. Like, a lot of it is through maybe endorsements or sponsorships now. But for midweek stuff, for match day itself, you're always aware that emotions are high. You're always aware that maybe a huge controversy is never around the corner. You do owe, in my opinion, not speaking for anybody else now, but you owe a duty of care to the player as well. There's no doubt about that. But still, your first duty is to get an insight. You know, I'm always at people, geez, could we not go into the dressing room, even see the jerseys hanging up?
Oh, yeah. I
remember I did a bit with Sky Sports and Kilkenny. Racker Cody brought me into the Kilkenny dressing room. No, I'm not sure if Brian Cody knew about it, but Racker brought us in about 2 hours before a championship game, and it was harmless, like Jaffa cakes, wine gums, Lucas Aid Sport.
Great to see it, though. Great
absolutely.
To see it. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's the point I'm making. Like, we don't help ourselves sometimes promoting the game. Am I a fan of the halftime interview? Yeah, you know, it's clear that one or two people coming over to you have zero interest in chatting to you, but they've obviously been asked by somebody, and I think it's worth pursuing, probably more so than pre-match. You might get something out of the halftime.
Yeah, I have to say, it's a different face. Like, I've seen Declan Laffin being interviewed a couple of times for Tipperary, that people mightn't, like Cahill and Bevins are the kind of front men there, and maybe Tony Round involved. It's good to see. Remember when Offaly in 2000, it was, you know, they'd be chatting to Pat Flory, or they'd be chatting to Ger Coughlin. You'd always see a different face. Back in the 90s, they used to always have Podge Mulher, and I tell you something, if you wanted someone to give you a little nugget, Podge definitely would anyway. He struggled to keep it PC, I tell you that.
He would, and you struggle to keep him PC too. And I saw last night there after Newcastle bet Man United, like Eddie Howe let the Sky camera into his game, or into his dressing room, while he delivered a post-match speech. Now, the post-match speech was generic enough, but Eddie Howe is media savvy, like, you know, and he knows probably Newcastle need a bit of positive PR as well with the ownership and stuff like that. But I just feel, look, we're obviously an amateur association, so I think access like that is going to be slow. But my God almighty, you know, whenever you do get it, it brings the GAA to a new level. And the level of affinity then that viewers have with that team is absolutely incredible, you know. And I you know, on match days, I'd say to the lads, like, could we do an interview walking down the sideline, even having a small chat? I remember when Tyrone won the All-Ireland final a couple of years ago, I actually got on the pitch and was able to walk up towards the hill with Niall Morgan and Petey Hart. And you're having a natural conversation, but they're not consciously aware then that there's a camera or an advertising hoarding behind you. It's much more natural. I understand that there's a marketing view to all this, Mick. You have to sponsors have to get payback, but just the odd breakaway. And just to give an insight, I think more of that could be welcomed, and the more Podge Mulhairs we get, the better. But they're a rare breed now, I can tell you that much.
Last